Hello, welcome to Arcade Couch, best place to show your friends to get your gaming business each and every Monday. My name's John Blunt. Join me on the couch this week, Ashley Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here to talk about Barbenheimer.
Wrong podcast. That's What Do You Want to Watch? Also here, Kira Marchant.
Not another podcast where we're going to be talking about this shit and why I haven't gone and seen it. Fuck me.
So, Kieran, which do you want to watch first, Oppenheimer or Barbie?
Oh my god.
Which deserves a movie first? Barbie or
Which one
Oppenheimer?
deserves a game first, yes.
Yeah.
Which one
Game
are they
first,
going to
yeah.
adapt?
Yeah.
Barbie?
I'm surprised they already haven't done a mobile game for Barbie.
There's got to be something.
I don't know how you do
surely
a
there's
game
some
for
sort of
Oppenheimer.
tie-in, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a very sensitive
I think
subject.
you could do a game focused on Ken and Kenergy linked in with this, like Ken's Wild Adventure or some shit, and it would go gangbusters.
Sure. Pitch it. There you go.
And you could do like a Los Alamos, like, city builder.
You are
maybe?
putting far too much thought. I can see the gears in your head going at the moment, and my god.
Talk about gears going ahead. Something that happens when you're sleeping is that doesn't happen. I've been playing.
Wow, what a stretch.
What a fucking talk about gears going in heads. I tell you what, it doesn't happen while you're sleeping.
Tell you what, you don't have Pokemon stretch yet, but you've got Pokemon sleep.
That's damn right, everyone. There you go. So I've been playing as much as you can, quote unquote, be playing Pokemon Sleep the past week, and that's the thing I've got going on in my life. So Pokemon Sleep's finally out. For people who don't know, it's literally they gamified walking and now they gamified sleeping. Because, why not? So keep going. You can play it with the Pokemon Go Plus as a thing, which I'll get to in a moment, but you don't have to. The way the game works, although it was very confusing when they announced it, it was a lot of like, how the fuck is this? Like, what is the point of this? Like, what is the go? Basically, when you go to sleep at night, you can put your phone next to your bed, and you can tell it you're going to sleep, and it'll track your sleeping. And then when you wake up in the morning, it'll tell you, hey, you slept for 5 hours. You suck at sleeping. Like, you should get more. And it'll tell you if you got like a restless sleep or, like they'll sort of rate your sleep. And then you can have it record you if you want to hear every time you fart when you sleep or something like that. That's something you can do, or make random noises, up to you. Then you can, you go to the next thing, and basically, or a bunch of random Pokemon will have appeared overnight while you're sleeping, and the Pokemon that show up are based upon your type of sleep you got. And then the point of the game is you're trying to collect I can't remember its official name, but basically a sleep Pokedex. So every Pokemon seems to have like 4 different types of sleep form. So like a Pikachu will have 4 different types. So you're trying to get them to shop and basically collect these different types. So outside of that, then when you go back to the main game, you can have a couple Pokemon that you can find that will be like hovering around your Snorlax. And each week you spend a week trying to raise up a Snorlax and be friends with it as much as you can. And the only reason you'd really open the game during the day after the sleeping point is you can feed the Snorlax breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that will help level up your character, which unlocks new lures, and you can use the lures to help get better Pokemon to show up while you sleep and stuff like that. It's harmless, sort of fun. Obviously, the aim, I would say its intention is good, although highly unrealistic for most people. The encouraging better sleep, I don't feel like is a bad thing, but the fact that when you first boot up the game and it's like 8.5 hours of sleep is what you need to get a 100% score on your sleep schedule at night. And I'm like, I've never had that happen yet, and I highly doubt I'll ever have that happen. It's just not.
Who does?
I don't
Kids,
know.
I guess.
I don't know, But I have a lot of times where I wake up in the morning and he goes, you slept for like 5.5 hours. That's not very good. You should get more. And I'm like, cool.
The studies on 8 hours sleep being necessary, being sort of disproven in recent
I don't know.
years?
I've done a lot of Googling on sleep. I done a lot of Googling on sleep to try and make myself at times feel better about the lack of eye sleep I get and to find out like what the minimum and best way to run on less hours sleep is. And I always found like there was one that was like sort of, it runs on like 90-minute increments or something when you're sleeping or something like that. So like you're sort of better waking up at say 3 hours than you are 4 hours, like because your body clock or something like that. So I don't know what the whole. I think most people say that's like 7 hours. I think is supposed to be the like good sleep. At least that's what I thought for like an adult. 7 hours was considered a good amount of sleep, but according to Pokemon Sleep, it's 8.5. So fucked if I know. Pokemon Go Plus that you can get also works with Pokemon Sleep. So this just replaces your phone. You can place this on your bed next to you. You hold down the button on it. Pikachu sings you. The Pikachu inside of it will sing you a lullaby to sleep.
Can you give us an example?
Yep.
Pika Pee, Pika Pee.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just get sung to sleep by Pikachu, and then when you go to sleep and then you wake up and you press the button to say that you've stopped sleeping, and then you sync it up to you press the button and it syncs up the game app and says, hey, we found sleep data, do you want to bring that into the game?
So it's working on the trust system, is it?
I guess you can't. So I know people have tried to cheese it already, because of course they have. You have to have it on a flat surface for it to work. And if it thinks you've like sat it under like a pillow or something to try and trick you, I was reading that people discovered it wasn't connecting them, and it only works on 90 minutes minimum. So like if you decide if you're someone who has like naps during the day, you can record your nap, but it has to be a 90-minute minimum nap for it to count towards the game.
So you can put it on like your bedside table?
No, it has to be on your bed. Because basically, from my understanding, how it works is it works on like, so if you're rolling around and moving in the night, it works off like the vibrations and stuff as you're moving around to help track your like restlessness of your sleep. I don't really like it.
Well, what if you're still?
Hey,
what if you sleep completely still, like a psycho?
Fucking hell!
I don't. I don't.
Well, but yeah, I know. What if you knock it off the bed?
So it comes with a thing you can peg it to your pillow with, like a little peg, and then like it magnets to the bottom of it. So they've thought about that. There you go. Got you there. So I've been playing it. I've been doing it every night. It's I don't know how you'd explain this if you slept with someone else, but
invite a lady over.
Right?
What's that on your bed? Oh, I need to
no, it's even worse, right? One night stand, very drunk night. Go home with somebody, and he is like, you both lie down to sleep, you've had it hot and heavy, you've had the fun and whatever, and he's like, you can stay, whatever. Stay in the same bed. All of a sudden, you hear out of nowhere in the darkness, Pika, 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 Pikachu.
It's like, what are you doing? Well, I don't want to lose my, because you get streaks, of course. Like you can't break it. Like I can't lose my streak. I'm on a 7-day streak.
Good, but like I don't want to lose.
Big enough to lose my streak.
Whoa, we can't go again. I need to have my 8 hours. So
8.5 hours.
8.5.
If I go to sleep now, we got time to talk for 10 minutes before bed. Imagine. Do you want me to sign you up? We can be friends in the game. You can get friends in the game. I don't know what the benefit of being friends in the game is, but
I've actually
now you know how they sleep.
I actually ordered a spare, so if you want to.
Yeah. Put on your pillow. Yeah. Off you go. But yeah, so I've been playing it. It's pretty easy because obviously you just roll over at bed at night. You just press one button on this thing and off it goes.
Do you leave it on your bedside table or do you put it
No, it's in bed.
It's attached to his pillow.
Oh, I would there's no shot that would remain in the bed.
I'm surprised. I'm actually shocked because I seriously thought the first couple of nights that I'd wake up and I'd flung it across the room because I definitely move around in my sleep. But it stays.
Nights where I forget to plug my phone in and I've fallen asleep with my phone somewhere.
Yeah.
The next morning, trying to find the phone again somewhere is a fucking task.
Well, I usually fall asleep with my phone on my bed anyway. So it's not I usually put on some rain noise or some fucking relaxing ASMR type shit. I don't know, something like that, and just fall asleep to it, next to me. So having this thing next to me it's not really worrying me. I haven't made it, but so I've been doing the sleep thing, and then because it's sort of a morning routine thing, spend 5 minutes just checking out what Pokemon showed up, and that's a nice thing to do when I wake up in the first morning. Be like, oh, that's cute, because the art is really good. I feel like that helps. That it's got really cute, very colorful, bright Pokemon designs. Seeing the Pokemon in different type of sleeping formations and stuff like that is cute and wonderful especially if you're into Pokemon, obviously. I haven't really been keeping up with the feeding the Snorlax throughout the day. I do breakfast because I'm there already, and then maybe I do dinner because I go to activate it at night, and I'm like, oh, I might feed Snorlax. So, but otherwise, I'm not really into the huge gamification side of it. Now, this all sounds fun, and if you're like, this sounds great, this sounds like a way for my kid to have fun, whatever. Yeah, of course. Here's the problem with this game. My major problem with this game: the fucking they have to ruin everything. There is a ridiculous amount of microtransactions available in this game. Ridiculously, for some reason, there is a dumb amount of microtransactions. There's even a subscription yearly pass to get access to other features, including the ability to see your your unlimited sleep records and stuff. Whereas if you're on the normal version, you only see the last 30 days or whatever. And all these extra things.
I feel like that would be pretty standard for a sleep tracking app. So
I guess so. Maybe
I think it is nowadays.
It just seems weird because I know it's the Pokemon side.
Yeah, but it's the same as, and especially if they're using, because there's no way Pokemon Company have gone out and just.
No, it's another developer.
It would have to be going off Fitbit stuff or an already prominent system. So there'd be no way they'd get around that. Yeah.
Well, that's that side I can sort of see that part, but the side that's really annoying is that so you can buy the in-game currency and then you can use that to buy the lures and the biscuits to feed Pokemon and all this sort of just junk. I'm like, why is that even an option? It's a fucking game about sleep. Why do I have to spend microtransactions on a game about fucking sleeping? Am I spending them? Am I buying shit while I'm sleeping? If you play this game, play quotations for 8 hours, it's while you're sleeping. The majority of the time you're sleeping. You're not even paying attention to the game. Anyway, whatever. On the other side, so Pokemon Go Plus is compatible with Pokemon Go. And it is basically the best version of best official release gotcha type catcher device that has been put out with Pokemon Company and Niantic compared to the last one. So the major change here is that the reason a lot of people brought third-party devices over the official one was that the official one wouldn't throw Pokeballs unless you tap the button on it. The same as the Pokeball that came out with Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee that you could use with Pokemon Go. You had to it would vibrate and you had to press a button on the top for it to throw a Pokeball. This one will throw Pokeballs just without you having to touch anything on it. But then the other upgrade is that if it vibrates and stuff and you want to press the button consistently, you can then now choose to have it when you do that actually throw an Ultra Ball or a Great Ball instead of just being a Pokeball. So these are a lot of options that people have been asking for these types of devices for some time. And then, of course, it also has the typical thing of spinning all your Pokestops when you go past them and whatnot. Size, it's definitely not as small as some of the other ones, especially the one I reviewed last year or early this year, whenever it was. And a lot of the other devices, because it's sort of a round disc thing, but it's definitely smaller and easier to take out around in public than I guess the Let's Go Bowl was, because there wasn't an easy way to really just stick that in your bag without it bumping into something or whatnot. But anyway, yeah, that's Pokemon Sleep. Now I look forward to I don't know what they can gamify next, but I'm sure they'll do it. They got you sleeping. They got you walking. to get your Pokemon shower time. I don't know. Pokemon bath time.
I mean, Pokemon Eat is the Dennis Clare thing.
Pokemon Eat. There you go. Okay.
That'd be kind of cool. Or, no, wouldn't it be like a Pokemon, like overall, like a Pokemon fitness thing? Like you could do Eat and fucking.
Well, I mean, this is part of.
They got Pokemon Go, which is
Pokemon Go is fitness, like and Pokemon Sleep technically is a health thing as well. Like sleep health.
Yeah, no,
Pokemon Lift.
It's Pokemon Lift Pro. You just chuck it all into the one app. Why is it so separated?
Pokemon Life, yeah.
I don't know. Pokemon is life. All right, so let's get into the other thing that I was playing last week that I couldn't talk about. But Gunbrella. So I played about the first. I can't actually remember how long I said I played it for. I wrote it somewhere in my article. Anyway, I think it was around 4-ish hours of Gunbrella. So I think PR said it would take roughly 3 hours, but it'll take me a bit longer because I was having fun exploring the world and doing all the sort of things. But in case we talked about Gunbrella, we played at PAX. Well, I think me and Ash did. I don't think did you play Gunbrella? I don't think you did you? No, it was at Devolver. I think you did.
Yeah, it was.
You did?
No, I don't think I did. No. I'm sorry, I was saying yes, it was at Devolver, but no.
Okay, yes. No. So Gunbrella is a game in which you play as this unnamed woodsman. You start the game and his wife's murdered, and then this random umbrella is left there that's also a gun, and he's like, this object's weird, and then he ventures off to find both the origins of the Gunbrella and thus hopefully leading for revenge and being able to find the person who left it at the crime scene and get revenge for his wife's murderer. So that's sort of the back end for Gunbrella. Of course, once you combine all these things, the game boils down to it's a very cool pixel art sort of well-designed, side-scrolling, 2.5D sort of at times action platformer, which is really, really good. It's really, really fun. The combat and everything is fantastic. You've got the combination of the Gunbrella both being able to use for offensive, defensive, and maneuverability, which is really fun. The name's also really exciting to say. Gunbrella. But yeah, it shoots normal bullets that you have infinite ammo of, the rifle rounds, and then you can pick up and you can buy other ammo like shotgun ammos and grenades and stuff like that you most of the time you're going to save up for the boss fights, of course. But outside that, you can also press a button to activate the umbrella part, and like if timed correctly, that's a counter attack back against enemies, especially like enemy projectiles. Like turret guns is one of the first things introduced to you early in the game that you can shoot their own bullets back at them and stuff like that. And then, of course, you can use the umbrella itself for floating, or gliding, I should say. But, you jump off a wall, activate it, glide down to the top of another rooftop, all these sorts of things. It's it's sort of the best of a lot of different games and ideas. And I nearly feel like you could just look at some screenshots and be like, yes, that is a game that is of interest to me. I feel like it's not something you really need to be super pitched on. The story gets absolutely fucking wild pretty quickly. So the first half hour or so was what I played at PAX, and then I sort of saw some of these elements in the PAX demo, which is they introduced these cultists and they're talking about they've got laser guns and weird stuff that you're like, this is a bit weird. I thought this was like a very steampunk sort of grounded game is where it started, I guess outside the Gunbrella part. But the further you get into it, suddenly you've got demonic cults and they're raising these fucked up looking creatures, which turn into some of the boss battles, these really weird looking things. And the boss battles, they're not super hard. I wouldn't say this isn't it's not an easy game, but I'm definitely not going to say it's challenge. It's not Hollow Knight or something like that. It doesn't fall into that realm of being really difficult and being something to brag about. It's fine. It's a challenge, but not super hard or anything. But it's definitely one of my most anticipated games of the year at this point. They still didn't put a proper release date on it, which is sort of annoying. I remember when the email came through and said that they had preview codes. I was like, awesome. They're probably going to announce a release date when the preview embargo's up. But that didn't happen, so I was sort of disappointed. But because I just wanted to keep playing. Especially the story, I'm actually really interested to see how it turns out because there's been some twists and turns. And then the part I got up to, I left off with a sort of massive cliffhanger, and I did a boss fight, and the boss fight was really fucking cool. So yeah, I'm super keen for this, and I feel like might be one of the best indies of the year. Probably will be one of the best indie games of the year.
Were you Rogan?
I 100% was rogging this bad boy.
You rogged all over it? Nice.
I rogged all over it. And I had a great time doing it. But this is a really good game for the ROG deck.
Yes. Once again, I looked at it. I went, it's a ROG game.
That's 100% a ROG game. Now, this is coming to Switch as well. Again, so it's like it's PC and Switch. You can play it on your PC at your desk with it's 100% a controller game. It's not a mouse and keyboard game. But if you're going to play it at your desk, that's fine. You get a bigger screen. But this game's fucking perfect for Switch and ROG deck or Steam Deck or anything like that. It's fucking top shit for that. Ash, I can't remember. Did you like what you played? I can't even remember. Do you like what you played?
Yeah, I enjoyed what I played back at PAX. It was a pretty lengthy segment of the game, but fun fundamentals. So definitely keen for it to finally release in full. No release date yet, which is kind of weird for with all this previous stuff.
Yeah, maybe they just wait. I don't know. There must be something going on there that they're waiting. Because I really thought the preview would lead to something, but no. They dropped a new trailer, which, cool story, bro, but give us that release date. So, yeah, everyone should have their eye on this game. I definitely feel like it's going to be one of the indies to play for this year. All right, let's get into some news. Let's start with this one. Let's talk news. Let's talk Xbox, but not the fucking court case ones. So Xbox has announced that they are getting rid of Xbox Live Gold as of September 14th, and in its place will be Xbox Game Pass Core.
Hasn't Game Pass taken enough?
And now they've taken Xbox Live Gold.
Killed Xbox Gold. Can you believe it?
Yep. Bro, just call it Xbox Game Pass Gold,
It'll be the same price.
It sounds like it'll be better than the Game Pass.
It is, yes. So it's going to be the same price as Xbox Live Gold, which is $10.95 a month or $79.95 a year. Of course, if you pay for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you don't need to buy gold or anything like that. You've got like the full thing there. The main reason a lot of people were paying for Xbox Live Gold was to play online. No one really paid for it for the games that came with it, because the games that have come, the monthly games with Live Gold for years now have been shit. They've been absolute trash.
Like nothing but movie tie-in games.
It's like most people have Game Pass, so it's like, why would you ever care? Like, I can't remember the last time I downloaded a Games for Gold game.
No, I don't know why you would care, which is obviously why they've.
But it's also why. But you wouldn't care because the games were so shit.
Well, no, like the main reason you're subscribing is to play online. The library was supposed to be the extra. But so when this launches, you'll have so you still have to pay for this if you want to be able to play online, or Gold, Xbox Live Ultimate, of course, or just don't play online. Up to you. But so this time it won't be getting monthly games. It'll just get you access to a library of Xbox Game Pass Core library. And at launch, the games announced for that so far are Among Us, Descenders, Dishonored 2, Doom Eternal, Fable Anniversary, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, Grounded, Halo 5 Guardians, Halo Wars 2, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Human Fall Flat, Inside, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Psychonauts 2, State of Decay 2, and the Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited. And the prices now, these are American prices, but the prices as they now lay out will be Core is $9.99 a month, Console is $10.99 a month, PC Game Pass is $9.99 a month, and then Ultimate costs you $16.99 a month. Kieran, what do you think of the changes? What do you think of Xbox Game Pass?
I think it's just a more streamlined change. I think it brings a very good catalog of probably the cream of the Xbox kind of party releases for the last decade, probably almost. And I think it's a great baseline now to have instead of Games for Gold. I'd be curious to know the numbers of people who just paid for Xbox Gold and never transitioned over to Game Pass, because I feel like
people, like if you just play like Call of Duty and FIFA and stuff like that, like you were just paying for gold to play online.
But the thing is, right, I don't think there would be much of a difference in price.
Normal Game Pass does not get you access to online, is the thing.
Oh, it doesn't? I thought it did.
No. Only Ultimate subscription came with the online included.
Okay. Fair enough.
But if you were paying for the $10.99 console subscription, you didn't get it. You still had to buy live gold to play online.
Oh, that's kind of crap. All right. So this is much better. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why. Ash?
Yep,
cool.
Yeah, just Microsoft ruining another thing. Game Pass. Where's
ruining another thing? It is now exactly the same as the PS Plus catalog, right? It's now exactly the same,
you still get
right?
You still get monthly games.
You still get monthly games that you technically own, if kind of.
You technically kind of own.
You technically kind
Except
of
for
own,
the moment you stop
service.
subscribing to PS Plus, you can no longer play those games.
So that's why it's technically.
It was the exact same.
So the technicality comes in.
Sony at it again.
Actually, like, someone has to stick up for Sony, the little old Sony on this podcast.
Yeah, keep them alive. The underdog.
Yeah.
The underdog.
Kieran's not having it.
I'm not.
The company that has 2/3 of the gaming industry. Yeah.
Moving on. This is one of my favorite stories from this week. I thought this was hilarious. So Eurogamer writes, "Sorry, Glorbo isn't coming to World of Warcraft." You already knew that, didn't you?
Bollocks.
This is great. So they write, "Are you eagerly anticipating Glorbo's introduction in World of Warcraft? No, you're not. Why is that? Oh, it's because it's a load of rubbish made up to irk out websites that are, in fact, using AI bots in place of real life human reporters. Earlier this week, a Reddit user created a post detailing a made-up feature that was being introduced into World of Warcraft. Quote, I have to say, since they started hinting at Hearthstone in 1994, it was obvious that they would introduce Glorbo to World of Warcraft sooner or later. The post by Kafer _ Cregan Infused. I feel like Dragonflight has been win after win so far. Like when they brought back Chen Stormstrout as the end boss for New Kazan. Absolutely amazing. End quote. However, before these choice words, the Redditor also laid out some other details that would perhaps be missed by bots trolling the World of Warcraft Reddit feed for stories. Quote, I just really want some major bot-operated news website to publish an article about this. End quote, they wrote. So the rest of the World of Warcraft community joined in the fun. As it happens, a bot-operated website did in fact come to news as fact. Soon after the post went up on Reddit, a website known as Zleeg published an article all about Glorbo's introduction to World of Warcraft and the impact it would have on the game, with quotes and all. So the literal headline of the article, lost it here for a sec, says, World of Warcraft players excited for Glorbo's introduction. World of Warcraft WoW players are thrilled about the introduction of Glorbo and eagerly await its impact on the game. This is very good. So yeah, I know we've talked about the AI sort of stuff before, obviously, but I just wanted to. This is a win. This is one of these, like, I take this as a win. I know it's sort of sad that this is the state of affairs, that people are using AI tools to just like publish bullshit stories and stuff. But the fact that people can trick them, and then we can start like feeding out weeding out the trash.
I think it's us more than. Us in the I guess the Australian media community are more aware of it than maybe others already are, and like we've already called out our fair share of people using AI
written
reviews and stuff. Like you can very easily tell them, and I think it's just something that's becoming more and more prevalent in all facets of medias, which it should just be kept an eye out for and monitored. And I think. If you are finding evidence of somebody with a AI generated articles and stuff, call that shit out. Don't keep following them. Or if other people call them out, don't keep supporting them. Simple as that.
But I do look forward to Glorbo.
I'm pretty sure Glorbo is in the next MCU movie. He shows up in the end credit scene. That was the character that people joking about, right?
That's what we're going to see at the end of Nick Fury this week, whatever that show's called.
Okay, Glorbo's going to come in and save the day.
Yeah, Glorbo's going to come in and save the day. That's right. Bit of good news here then. So, Screen Australia has announced $3 million of funding for 23 Aussie games and studios, writes Press Start. Screen Australia has revealed the 2 studios selected to receive a total of $600,000 in funding through the First Nations Game Studio Fund, which it revealed back in May, with application kicking off in June. The studios will each receive a boost of $150,000 per year for 2 years to support their teams and projects, Guck and Awesome Black. Guck is currently working on future folklore and adverse and subversive care of country's sim for mobile platforms, setting inspired by the Australian bush, native flora and fauna, and Aboriginal culture. Awesome Black is a multimedia creative enterprise that aims to build best practice programs and pathways for First Nation creators to be authentically compensated. On top of announcing the recipients for the First Nations Game Studio Fund, Screen Australia also revealed a list of 21 local game projects sharing in a further $2.4 million funding through the Game Expansion Pack Fund. So just to quickly run down the list and give everyone their due, because there's some games in here, of course, that if you've been listening to the show or you go to PAX, you will know. So you got Alluri from New South Wales, Covert Crew from WA, Dark Web Streamers, South Australia, Delithium from South Australia, Dr. Cole Kilty from Vic, Drift City Kings from Vic, Feed the Deep, Queensland, The Godfeather, a Mafia Pigeon Saga, New South Wales, Inoculus from WA, Letters to Arala from from Vic, Memories Reach from Vic, Mouse Game from South Australia, Naya from WA, Outpost from ACT, RPG Game Working Title South Australia, Shrine Housekeepers from WA, Spirit Well from Vic, Sundown New South Wales, Taming Your Dragons from South Australia, and Tempopo from Queensland, and Tempest Rail from South Australia. Now, you don't really give. Of course, this is good news. This is fantastic. I'll tie it into the other news story, which makes this somewhat disappointing. But so Vooks writes, this morning, the Australian Classification Board posted a list of a video game based on Australia's biggest export right now, Bluey. Bluey, the video game, was rated for release, but hasn't been announced as of yet. The classification was picked up by the OzVG classifications bot on Twitter. The listing, the classification website also had a description saying, quote, follow the Healer family on a holiday adventure to find treasure hidden by Bandit and his brothers many, many years ago. The game takes place in 5 iconic show locations, and its story mode tells a family-friendly adventure about creating your own cherished memories with your family. Vooks continues, it appears it'll be coming out on all consoles and PC at some point. The listing says the developer is R-Trax Games, and it will be published by Outright Games, who do a lot of publishing of other licensed titles. It also means that the game isn't being developed here in Australia. Bullshit. I cannot believe we fucked ourselves this hard. Now, apparently, I've done some reading on this. Apparently, it's because BBC owns the merchandising.
Yeah. So, before Bluey became a massive global hit, they signed away a lot of the worldwide merchandising to the BBC.
It's fucking bullshit.
The Australian government fuck us over again.
How good would it have been? We've never had, I feel like, honestly, imagine a world where one of our biggest sort of known quantity Australian indie developers was like, hey, we're doing the Bluey game. Everyone would have got behind that shit. Everyone would have been like, let's get behind this. Let's fucking, let's amp this up. Let's get excited. Let's make this huge. Fuck yes, Australia, Australian team showing how great the Australian games industry is, which of course we keep talking about how great and growing it is over the last couple of years. And they're fucking making a Bluey game, Australia's biggest, most popular export of recent years. And instead it's being done by some fucking other studio.
Imagine if they fucking rocked up and oh yeah, House is going to do Bluey.
That'd been fantastic. Yeah.
To do a Goose Game style game, but in the style of Bluey and stuff would be fucking amazing. That'd be so cool.
Just would have been so cool to see an Aussie developer doing the game for this. So that was my disappointing spin. However, the rest of this...
Can I say, in a perfect world, in my mind, the perfect Bluey game would be what's the word? Multiple indie games. Inside the one game, a bunch of different studios make a smaller game and it's all in the one.
Like a collaborative project.
Yeah, I'm completely forgetting the word of a bunch of short films together.
So it'd be like the Rare Replay box.
Anthology game.
Anthology. There we go.
That would be cool. And each one's a tiny episode or whatever, yeah.
No, that's a good idea.
If we ever get the Australians ever get the rights back, that's what I want.
That's fair. And I hope we do, because so Outright Games publish a lot of these kids show based stuff, and they're very hit and miss based on all reviews. Like if you look some of them up, they're getting like 6 or 7s. Other ones get like 4 or 5, stuff like that. Apparently the Peppa the Pig game.
It sounds more like miss or slightly.
Yeah. So all right, miss or slightly okay. Peppa Pig game, which obviously massive kids show as well. They only got the voice actor for Peppa, and then everyone else was just replaced, and lots of stuff that just doesn't make it feel like it's a fully authentic, with all the love and care it deserves sort of project, which is disappointing. So yeah, really cool. A lot of really standout games in the rest of that list though that I thought was good to see. So obviously if Alluri, which that getting some more funding is great to see. Obviously I'd hope that game's getting towards
I hope that funding is going towards putting it out.
Well, I know where it's at because I backed it. I get their update emails, like they send out every month. They'll be like, here's where we're at, like here's what we've spent the last, which they're good. And obviously if you back something on Kickstarter, most people do that. Like, hey, here's where your money's, like here's where your money went, here's how the progress is sort of going on this project, which is cool and everything like that. What else was it? Godfather, the Godfeather. Apparently they've extended that title to a Mafia Pigeon saga. I don't know if that was there last time. Was it?
Make it clearer that it was Mafia inspired.
Mafia inspired. The Spirit World was the one that we never got to play at PAX.
Yes, that was the one that had like a
million people demo consistently there, and the person only had 40-minute demo. 40-minute demo, only one demo available. Hopefully that's a bit.
Hopefully they're
PAX this year.
Topic.
Yeah. And then Tempopo obviously getting more funding for Witchbane Games is of course that's only going to be a good thing, because they're the studio that did Unpacking, of course, so very keen for that. Lots of other stuff here. I not to say dismiss the rest of the games, but they're the ones that I'm shouting out as the ones we've played, we know about, sort of thing. But I know there's nothing else here. Oh, I mean, I know about Dark Web Streamer, but I've never actually played it.
No.
So,
but that was also very popular at PAX.
That was very popular at PAX. But hopefully the rest of these we'll be playing in a couple months, I guess, at PAX.
Yeah. Actually, off the back of the Bluey thing, do you have another Australian property that you think would make a good video game?
Oh, that's hard, hey? Home and Away? No. What's your answer?
But like an around the twist, like adventure game, point and click, like crazy weird things happening around the twist.
Have you ever felt like this?
Kieran's go like,
things happen. We're going around the twist. No.
Damn Australians. Damn Australians.
Like a water rats game.
Nah, I'm not backing. I'll back around the twist, but I'm not.
But no, they probably did have Bananas and Pajamas games. Give us a Ferals game. There's an Australian film I've watched a few times from years ago. Not a major, like not a huge one. It's called Running on Empty. I would like to see that turned into a video game. It's a car racing one. That's the genre I love. But yeah, so. But like he basically like tries to beat the head like car like racer dude, and fails at first, and then he goes out, and this is a very redundant way of explaining the plot of this movie, but he ends up going out like with his girlfriend to the middle of nowhere, like I think it's like Victoria, like bushland sort of thing, and he gets trained by this blind dude. Like how to drive, like listen to the car, like feel the engine and all that sort of stuff. Like so, Running on Empty. There's my very niche weird answer for this question. Kieran, you've got to give an answer. I've gone deep.
Like I just think
I know Googling Running on Empty. Like, is this a real film or is Dylan making this up?
I just think you have to make like a Telltale style story game of like based on the castle.
All right. Dug another hole, Dad.
Tell him he's dreaming.
He's it's like a pool room.
It's like a what's the documentation, like they're trying to get immigration, like get into the country. You got to stamp their passport or something.
Yeah,
papers, please.
Papers, please. It's like that, except it's for ads. It's like, tell them they're dreaming. You just swipe left or swipe right.
Oh my god,
easy. Just
in sticks. What are we going to do with Just?
1982. I just found out when that movie was made. Did you see that? Did you find it?
We should just do the critically acclaimed Waterworld. That went really well. Yep.
All right. Well, that'll do it.
From that weird tangent.
That'll do it for this week's episode of Arcade Couch. Don't forget to let us know your comments, questions, concerns, anything in your thoughts about the question. What Australian thing would you turn into a video game?
If any of those people want us to help work on these,
yeah, we can do it. Let's know all that by going to our Twitter. If it's still live, it's week by week. ExplosionNetwork.com/Twitter. Find us on Threads if you want. Come talk to us on Discord, ExplosionNetwork.com/Discord. And if you'd like to support the show, ExplosionNetwork.com/support will take you to our Ko-fi page. Until next week, same time, same couch. Goodbye.